Hi, everybody. My name is Colette, and I'm the co host of the podcast Ms. Behavior. I am a 30-year veteran of college administration, including my favorite thing, which is college student conduct. Why do I love it so much? I love college students, and I love when conduct processes go smoothly for them. So I'm here to help other professionals get some advice, help students, parents, loved ones learn how they can navigate these processes successfully too. Today I'm going to talk about something we all want to do, which is to encourage students to tell the truth. I've got some tricks that I've learned that I'm happy to share, and hopefully, students or parents, if you're listening to this, you can also learn from this. The first thing to do is to be warned that I'm happy to share, and hopefully, students or parents, if you're listening to this, you can also learn from this. The first thing to do is to be warm, be nice. Make it a safe place for students to feel like they can tell you the truth and you're not going to judge them. How do you do that? Get there early, smile, ask them questions about themselves, share a little bit about you and why you got into this field. Do you love college students? Do you like helping them through these processes? Well, tell them that that's your goal. The second thing is to have empathy as you listen to students. And I don't mean sympathy, I mean empathy. Empathy means trying to see things from their point of view. I almost never meet with a student where I can't imagine that in some circumstance I might have done what they did. So, asking them questions to help them understand what they were thinking in the moment. Hopefully, you can help them if they haven't already reflected on it. Maybe have some different understandings, but helping them see that you can at least understand why they did what they did. Next is to give students a second chance. Maybe they've practiced a story that they think you want to hear, or they think somebody else wants them to say, and you know it's just not matching what you're hearing in a pretty credible report. So give them a second chance. Let them know that what they're telling you doesn't sound quite right, but you're there to listen. You might understand that they're nervous, and maybe sharing some additional details could help them feel more comfortable telling the truth. One strategy you can use is to let them know the end of the hearing at the beginning. If this is not a high stakes case, if suspension is not on the line, go ahead and tell them that right up front. If you sense they're holding back out of fear, usually they're afraid because they're assuming they're getting kicked out of school for just about anything. And if that's not the case in this meeting, go ahead and tell them that to alleviate that fear and let them know again you'd prefer that they tell the truth so you can help them. Another way to encourage them to tell the truth is to show them models in your system. So if you've built it in to recruit students or faculty or other administrators or staff on your panels that hear cases, train them to share times that they've made mistakes in their lives. Maybe they can even say that when they introduce themselves to show that they've been through processes like this and they made it out all in one piece. And you yourself share times that you may have made mistakes so they have a model for just normalizing being human. And that might also encourage them to feel a little more comfortable with you. Sometimes I find that if a student is really reticent to tell the truth and they're just going to stick to their story, maybe you could just stop talking about the incident itself and start asking more questions about them. What else was going on in their life when this was happening? Usually, students tell the truth about this, even if they haven't told the truth about anything else. If you ask them what stressors were they under, what pressures were they feeling, were they having a hard time academically, were they going through some personal problems, most students will tell the truth about themselves. And even if they don't tell you the whole truth about an incident that you're looking at least you might be able to understand some of the underlying things to still be able to offer them support. Finally, something I have learned by practice is to share with students that you're trying to help them. And if you feel like they're not telling you the truth, You don't know how to help them. If they explain they were having a hard time with peer pressure, you probably have some things to help them with that. If they were struggling with mental health issues, you probably have resources on your campus to help with that. But if you just don't know, you still don't know what really happened and what was going on for them, you would just be making things up. And then you don't have the opportunity to give them some educational resources. So I'm not afraid to just plead with them. Please help me help you. And occasionally that helps them be brave. I sometimes use the words, be brave. This is your time. Go ahead and have courage. And I am here to support you through that. And I love that moment when you can see their shoulders go down, they take a deep breath, and they just tell you. So if we can provide those meaningful moments for students, they will remember that you were patient, you were kind, and that you cared about them. And that's really what we're all about. Okay, now it's your turn. We'd love to learn your secrets and strategies for convincing students to tell the truth in their hearings. Just leave us a comment or email us at msbehaviorcollege@gmail.com, and we'd love to add your thoughts to our podcast and just learn for our own practice. Thanks, and see you next time.